Hello, welcome to another episode of This, That, and the Other. I was going through my list of what the next show is to do, and this is one I've been looking forward to doing. My career at CSB, Columbia School of Broadcasting. I went there in 1993 with aspirations of being a DJ or radio announcer. I ended up getting a job with Shadow Broadcasting Company, driving a van around and reporting traffic conditions all over Washington, D.C., Did that for about 3 months, never did get an on-air position, and was later offered a position with a small market radio station, a lot less money than I was making, no benefits, couldn't take the cut in pay. Job security also, I found out, in radio sucks. Stations can change format, the new ownership can decide to just fire everybody on a moment's notice. The site goes from oldies to country. They want country people know the country music, so they clean house, and the job doesn't pay much either initially. There are very few that make the big bucks. It's those people, those DJs are few and far between. This is the binder from when I went to Columbia School of Broadcasting, the CSB logo, Columbia School of Broadcasting, and these are the pages from it. This course had 6 phases: radio announcing course phase 1, and then these are the cassette tapes. There were 6 of them for all the phases. The black tapes were instructional tapes on how to do the assignment, and then the white tape, I recorded my assignment on it, and on the other side, a DJ from somewhere else would grade it, be it Los Angeles, North Carolina, some from this area. My instructor was Jim Lashley. He had been a DJ for WPGC in Maryland, and he did a couple of the critiques on the tape. Actually, one woman did one. The rest of them were men. But what I would do basically, I would do the assignment, and then I would go to the studio, and Jim Lashley would listen to it and decide whether, what he was gonna do. Sometimes he would say you're gonna have to do it over. Sometimes I was able to get past it, and sometimes after getting past the assignment, I'd have to do a couple of exercises before I'd go on to the next phase. Could be exercises on improving voiceover or what have you. And then I'd finally hear, well, Doug, it's now phase 4. And it would be good news. I could go on to another phase. There were 6 phases altogether. One was a DJ show. One was a sports show. I think that was phase 4. And it took me like 2 attempts to finally get past that one. And then last one was phase 6, the demo tape to be submitted to radio stations for employment. And I'm going to go ahead and do a couple of reads I did for assignments, commercial reads. These are what I found to be the most difficult ones to do, and I haven't done this since 1993. So those things, voiceover reads are difficult. I've seen stuff on YouTube where some of these celebrities do them, and then they start cursing and everything else. You hear all the outtakes on it. Voiceover reads are difficult, and when I did them, I didn't have a studio to do it in. I didn't have reel-to-reel where I could edit it. I had to do it on an old tape with a condenser microphone, which did not give good sound quality, and you could not edit it. So if I misread a word, I had to redo it. So sometimes I'd have to do that read 20 times. It was frustrating. But I'm going to go ahead and attempt the Zap battery commercial. This one's a challenging one. Take 1 on the Zap battery commercial. Let's take a typical winter morning. You're late for work. You've hurried through breakfast, grabbed your coat and gloves, you hop in your car, hoping the traffic won't be too bad and your car will start. Will it? That seems to be pretty much up to your battery, and the kind of battery you have is up to you. So consider the car starter, the Zap battery. It can be counted on when the temperature is low because a Zap battery provides a super burst of power instantaneously to overcome the resistance of a cold engine. That super burst, or zap, is what it takes to get started. The Zap battery. For cold weather starts you can count on. See your Zap battery dealer, or look for the yellow, blue, and green Zap battery sign at your nearby service station. Start for sure. Start your car with a Zap battery, the guaranteed battery. And next one's another difficult read. I'm not sure I ever did that one for this one for an assignment. I was given some choices on which commercials I'd want to read for an assignment. I think the Zap battery one was a required one, but this is another one, a tongue twister. Commercial for the Taste Tester Toaster, another difficult read. I'm going to give the Taste Tester Toaster one a try. If you own an ordinary breakfast toaster, chances are you wake up every morning to the tedious task of tossing toast into a traditional toaster. Boring, isn't it? Well, a toaster by Taste Tester will change all that. You set it like an alarm clock so that you wake up to the wickedly delicious smell of warm toast every morning, instead of that irritating racket from a clock or radio. Not only that, your terrific new toaster by Taste Tester Toaster has attachments for making toast 10 times more tantalizing. A Taste Tester Toaster has 10 tiny compartments for butter, sugar, cinnamon, jelly, peanut butter, ice cream, or meatballs, and it's automatically toasting toast with a topping to tempt your tongue. Like they say at Taste Tester, a Taste Tester Toaster makes truly taste-tempting toast. Taste Tester Toaster, available at fine stores everywhere. Drop by your nearby appliance store and pick up your Taste Tester Toaster today. Tempt your tongue with Taste Tester Toast tomorrow. Well, I made it through both these readings without having to do a second one. Those are difficult readings. That Taste Tester Toaster, quite a tongue twister. I was going to mention something about that Zap battery one if I can find it again. Let's see here. Yeah, there was one line in it that was difficult to read. I had to do it several times to get it right. This one line that, let's see where that is. That seems to be pretty much up to your battery, and the kind of battery you have is up to you. That is a difficult read. But like I said, it was frustrating to do those voiceover reads. And I was going to go ahead and play my phase 6 of assignment when I did it. It was a tape that I submitted to radio stations to try to receive employment. I actually submitted some others besides that one. I submitted segments of that, but submitted segments of others to radio stations trying to find employment. And it was graded by Jim Lashley. I'm not going to play that part, but I'll go ahead and play that phase 6 assignment. Phase 6. WVAR Variety 1240. That was YMCA with the Village People, and he's taking you through the afternoon with all the great hits of the 60s, 70s, 80s, and today. Here's the Reston weather. Partly cloudy this afternoon. Mild, high 45 degrees. Chance of late afternoon and evening showers. Clearing overnight, continued cool, low in the upper 30s. Tomorrow, quite cool in the morning, with showers likely. I lived in Reston at the time, Reston, Virginia, and that's why I did it as Reston weather. They wanted us to do it as the local area that we lived in. You'll notice there's a lot of popping between reads. Like I said, I didn't have the resources to reel to be able to edit that out, cut it out, and edit it so you didn't hear the pops. I did it like I was telling you before. So I did it with a condenser microphone. Actually, later on with my recorder, I believe I bought a microphone and got a little bit better read, but I still had to stop it in between reads. Be sure to be listening this hour for a chance to win an all-expenses-paid 2-week vacation for you and that special someone to Paris. Yes, have fun, have lays, have a big time anytime, wherever you are. At home, on a picnic, or at your favorite eating place. Just remember, when it's snack time, ask for Lay's Magic Pack potato chips. The fresher, crispier potato chips that are just perfect for nibbling by themselves. Or for eating with other fine foods and any beverage, hot or cold. So get Lay's today and try them. Keep plenty on hand at home, for TV watching, and for serving at parties and any happy get-together. Anytime you open a bag of Lay's potato chips, you'll find them fresh and crunchy crisp,
because exclusive Magic Pack is always on guard to absorb moisture and preserve that original potato goodness. Just remember, only Lay's has Magic Pack, and Magic Pack keeps Lay's chips a full week fresher. And that makes Lay's a perfect snack time treat. Get some today. Lay's Magic Pack potato chips.
That was kind of a boring read to do, that Lay's one, and not the easiest one in the world either. They wanted you to use the word get instead of get. I don't know who says get, but that you said get, that counted. You lost points on your assignment, so I had to stress that word get.
Here's another four-song set, starting off with Dusty Springfield on WVAR Variety 1240. WVAR Variety 1240 AM. That was Blondie in Call Me.
The music I used was songs that I actually had at home, so I mean it's basically the same genre. That's why you're hearing what you're hearing.
In the news, against the advice of other Republicans, even his own supporters, Bob Dole continues to label fellow GOP candidate Pat Buchanan as an extremist. Dole responded to the advice by saying, "I don't work for anybody in Washington. I'm the candidate. They're not." It got tougher today for Jack Kevorkian to beat the assisted suicide rap. The judge gave the jury new instructions today. She told them that they have to prove that Kevorkian provided the means for two people to commit suicide, or that he intentionally took part in an act that allowed the two to kill themselves. The judge did not tell the Michigan jury that her earlier instructions were incorrect. In those instructions, she told the jury they have to prove that Kevorkian intended only to cause death and not relieve pain or discomfort. All extracurricular school clubs in Salt Lake City, Utah were eliminated to avoid allowing clubs for gay students. Hundreds of Salt Lake City public school students walked out of class to stage a protest march against the Capitol. During the march, a 14-year-old girl was accidentally run over by a car. She is now in critical condition. Kmart is closing some of its unprofitable stores, and that means job cuts. 1,300 jobs will be lost if the company shuts down 15 stores in 8 states. For WVAR News, getting back to music, here's Tony Basil. AM reminds you that if you need help with a drug problem, Drug Help can help you. Drug Help, 619 Market Street, offers instant help for people who have a drug problem. Drug Help's hotline is manned 24 hours a day by trained volunteers. If you need help or just someone to talk to, call 687-HELP. All contacts with Drug Help are confidential. So if you've got a problem, call them. That's 687-HELP. Another public service of WVAR, your station that cares.
This was more of a softer read. It was a PSA announcement that they wanted me to do for the assignment, so voice is a little more softer on this one. I have one more commercial read, and that will be it for the Phase 6 assignment.
In sports, in the world of hockey, the New York Islanders...
I forgot sports as well.
There's defeated San Jose 4-2. In overtime, Hartford edged Buffalo 2-1. Montreal beat Calgary 5-1, and the New York Rangers got by Ottawa 2-1 in overtime. Now turning to the NBA, New Jersey won over New York 82-77. Orlando edged Miami 95-93, and the Cavaliers won convincingly over the 76ers 97-82. Say spring, and the air becomes perfumed with a fresh flower smell, and your hair becomes alive. Spring has come, and brought with it Pantene Hairspray. Pantene Hairspray holds your hair in place, lets your hair look, feel, and act alive, and look springtime natural. Pantene Hairspray, a new beginning, a springtime beginning for living natural hold. Say spring, and you'll say Pantene Hairspray.
All right, I'm going to be playing another tape, too, from Columbia School of Broadcasting when I was in production class. Jim Lashley also taught that. There were 10 people in the class, and at the end we did some assignments where there were 2 groups were split up into 5. We did a news show, and John led it as the anchor, and I did the sports. They had people assigned for different things, and I was assigned to sports, and another guy assigned traffic. I wanted to do traffic, but he wasn't showing up for class for several classes, so I went ahead and put together a traffic report just in case he didn't show up for the day we recorded. Sure enough, he didn't show up, and leader of our group was like, what are we going to do now without that? And I said, I have a traffic report. I had one already prepared, so I ended up doing traffic and sports for this, which I wanted to do in the first place. So here's this news show.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the CSB News at 7 o'clock. I'm John Waterloo. Our top stories tonight: Chief of Naval Operations commits suicide over combat medals, value jet officials under scrutiny over deadly crash in Florida, and an exclusive report on the Children's Rally in Washington, D.C. More on this stories and others in a moment.
Those reads were difficult. He was trying to say these, and it's ended up saying this. You're gonna see a lot of fumbling for words. It's when you're new at it, it's difficult.
They're coming from cities and suburbs to Sears National Home Appliance Sale with over 500 Kenmore appliances and home electronics on sale right now through Wednesday. America's largest usable capacity washer is just $377. Electric dryer, $277. Sears' lowest price ever for the pair. You save $294. So hurry, you can't beat the values, but you can beat the crowd at Sears.
Welcome back. Admiral Jerry Borda, Chief of Naval Operations, died Thursday afternoon from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the chest. Pentagon officials say 2 suicide notes and a handgun were found at the scene. They also say Admiral Borda had been worried about more bad publicity for the Navy over questions about 2 medals and combat pins he wore. Value jet officials have been under an intense investigation by federal aviation officials. The investigation was prompted by 6 incidents that began in December, most involving problems with landing gear and engine components. Although ValueJet is still certified to fly, more inspectors will be added, up to 37 to ensure ValueJet meets all certification requirements. All this following the deadly Florida crash in the Everglades that claimed 110 lives on May 11th. Children's Rally at the Mall? This local story right after the weather.
After a beautiful day today, we had a high of 78. It will be clear and cool tonight, low about 62. Sunny and a little warmer tomorrow, highs in the mid-80s. And right now, it looks like it's going to be nice right through the weekend, with highs in the 80s and lows in the 60s on both Saturday and Sunday. Right now, it's 76 degrees in the Washington metropolitan area.
The National Park Service estimates about 200,000 people responded to the call, Stand for Children, with their reasons for coming as varied as their ages, skin colors, and stations in life. More on this with Steve in Washington Mall right now. Come on, Steve.
John, it's a wild scene here at the Lincoln Memorial. Children were backpacked, strolled, held by the hand, sometimes whining, but enjoying the mass demonstration here on the mall at the Lincoln Memorial. And they were led by their teachers, pastors, and den mothers. But the thing is, the point of the rally organized by the Children's Defense Fund was somewhat unclear. No politicians were invited to speak. No detailed agenda was outlined. According to Fund President Marion Wright Edelman, the idea was to tell America that we should do better and put children first. Back to you, John.
The sounds you heard, the children and stuff, we actually used a sound effects tape to record this. He didn't actually go to the Washington Monument or wherever it was supposed to be, Lincoln Memorial, to do this. This was done in the studio.
Thanks, Steve.
Cincinnati Reds owner Marge Schott has been given a tough ultimatum to relinquish day-to-day control or face up to a year's suspension. This was the result of her saying in an ESPN interview that Adolf Hitler was good at the beginning. Baseball executives have called her an embarrassment to the game. Mike Mussina won his 5th consecutive game to Detroit, giving Baltimore a 10-7 win despite giving up 6 hits and 10 runs. Tonight, Baltimore hosts Detroit at 7:35.
That intro of me doing the sports was cut off. It's through some editing. That's me reading the sports. I'll be doing traffic after this one.
The Colorado Avalanche took a 1-0 lead in the Stanley Cup Final Series. Florida took a 1-0 lead in the first period, and Colorado answered with 3 goals in the second to win 3-1. Tonight, the Chicago Bulls host Seattle in Game 1 of the NBA Championship. The Bulls are 9.5 points favorites.
Let's see what's happening on the roads with Metro traffic.
Thanks, John. Good afternoon. Already a slow trip because of the road work on the inner loop of the Beltway. After River Road, the right lane is blocked off. Then on the northbound 270 spur before Democracy Boulevard, the right lane occupied as well. Park police responding for an accident on Rough Creek Parkway down at the Lincoln Memorial Circle. Look out for flashing lights. No delays as of yet. 395, 95, and headed across towards the Woodrow Wilson Bridge. I'm Rob Johnson for Metro Traffic.
That was a radio name I used when I did radio things. Rob Johnson. I actually was thinking of a name, and I looked down in a newspaper and saw Rob Johnson, the quarterback for Buffalo Bills at the time, and that's where I got the name from.
Thank you, Rob. Let's go to entertainment with Linda Williams.
Hi, this is Linda Williams for CSB Entertainment News. We had a great Saturday at the Equestrian Center in Upper Marlboro. It was a beautiful day for a concert. Opening the day was Jody Messina singing several of her songs off her new album, which was just released 2 weeks ago. She closed her show with the audience singing and dancing to her top hit, Heads Carolina, Tails California, which went to number 2 on the country chart. Then Red Atkins gave a very powerful performance singing all of his hits, including one song entitled She Said Yes. He was very friendly, chatting with the audience while performing and catching cans of soda being tossed to him by admiring fans. And wrapping up the day was Joe Diffie. Talk about a hot performance. He really got the crowd rocking from Third Rock from the Sun to his sweet ballad, Ships That Don't Come In. He even had some audience members on stage for his song C-O-U-N-T-R-Y, holding signs for each letter being flashed. One volunteer, the lady holding the letter T, won a guitar signed by all 3 artists. And to the surprise and delight of everyone, Joe came back on stage for an encore, singing ZZ Top's hit, Tush. This has been CSB Entertainment News, and I'm Linda Williams.
Thank you, Linda. This has been CSB News, brought to you by Sears. The time now is 7:05. Thanks for joining us.
Last thing I'm going to go ahead and play, too, is in the production class, we also did like a radio type drama. It's supposed to be like a children's radio show called Speck the Wonder Dog. Just some CSB made up. That was never actually a show, but I'm going to go ahead and play that because I did a little bit of the voice work in that as well, and that will wrap up today's This, That, and the Other show. I'll go ahead and get that cranked up.
Hello, children. Welcome to another episode of Speck the Wonder Dog. Tonight, I want to start with a letter from a listener. Terry from Tyson's Corner writes,
Dear radio station, I listen to Speck the Wonder Dog every week, and I can't believe that Timmy puts up with that pesky little dog. Speck never seems to do anything worthwhile for anybody. Timmy gets hurt in every episode, and the dumb dog gets off without a scratch. Do something about this mutt, or you've lost a listener as me as a listener forever.
Well, Terry, thanks for your letter. On tonight's show, Timmy, Speck, and the whole family are here, and Speck goes to obedience school with surprising results.
It's Speck, the Wonder Dog. If you need help, he'll let out a yelp. He'll let out a yelp. Yes, Speck, the Wonder Dog.
Hello again, children. Tim and Speck are doing very well. They got out of the hospital just last week, and they're both ready to get on with their lives. We join them now in the park ranger's cabin where they live. Timmy's mother and father are having a little discussion.
Henry, I just don't know how long it can go on like this.
What do you mean, Martha?
You know what I mean. Every month or so, there's another disaster, another ride down the mountain to the hospital in town, another stay in the hospital, another pile of doctor bills.
Now, Martha, These little setbacks are just a part of life.
Henry, it's time to do something. I think it's time for obedience school.
Oh, Martha, don't you think that obedience school is a little drastic? Speck is a good dog.
I'm not talking about Speck. I mean obedience school for Timmy.
Well, children, it's time to leave the room and let the grown-ups have their little talk in private. As it turns out, Timmy and Speck both went to obedience school. Timmy learned how to give better commands for Speck to follow, and Speck learned how to get what people want instead of just running through the woods. Let's go to Timmy's front yard and see how they're doing.
Golly, Speck, it feels good to be out of the hospital and out of obedience school. Know what we're going to do this weekend, boy? We're going to snow camp. It'll be great fun, and Grandpa will be there to teach skiing. Hey, here comes that girl, Amy. Now behave. Speck, she really hates it when you lick her face. It grosses her out. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Timmy. Keep your dumb dog away from me. He always jumps up and licks my face, and that's so gross. Yuck.
Amy, Speck's not a dumb dog, and he won't lick your face anyway. Heel, boy. Speck and I went to obedience school, and now Speck can get what people want.
I don't know. He gets what you want, huh? Prove it.
Okay, ask him to go fetch you a stick.
Well, all right. Go, Speck. Fetch a stick.
See, there he goes.
Gee, that's amazing, Timmy. He's really doing it.
Okay, Speck, now give Amy the stick.
Oh, no. I'm not taking that stick after he's been in his dirty dog drooly mouth. That's gross. Yuck.
Well, children, I'm sure you're happy to know that Speck can get people what they want now. Let's see what happens a few days later at Snowcap. Timmy and Speck have already arrived, and they're out learning about skiing from Grandpa.
Timmy, it's real nice getting to spend the weekend with you like this. You too, Speck.
Right, Grandpa, this is fun. Speck thinks so too. It's real nice of you to teach us skiing. I've always wanted to learn how, but Mom was afraid something awful would happen to me.
Yes, Timmy, I understand your mother's concern. That's why we're doing cross-country skiing off to the side of the ski slopes. And besides, these days Speck is really helping to keep things on an even keel. Aren't you, boy?
He sure is, Grandpa. Oh, look, what a beautiful snow-covered mountain.
I'm glad you pointed that out, Timmy. The majesty of nature is hard to beat. But you have to be careful. The heavy snow we got last night is pretty deep, and the ski patrol hasn't opened that slope for skiers yet. There's a small chance of an avalanche.
Avalanche? Oh, Grandpa, do you think that could happen here?
Probably not, Timmy. But just to be on the safe side, let's not make too much noise.
Right, Grandpa, I'll tell Speck. Come here, boy. I better pick you up to tell you this. Speck, I didn't want to kiss. Achoo!
Uh-oh. Timmy, get behind that tree, quickly!
Grandpa, are you okay?
Oh, that's smart. I'm pinned under the snow under this tree, but the snow has cushioned my fall. I think nothing's broken. How about you?
Well, I'm mostly okay. That tree's on me, too, and I can't seem to get out. Oh, Grandpa, where's Speck? Speck! Speck! Oh, Speck, you're safe. You're just covered in the snow. Gee, Grandpa, I'm getting cold. I wish you had some hot chocolate, don't you?
That sounds good, Timmy, but chocolate gives me leg cramps in the neck. Ooh, that's smart. I could sure use some jelly beans, though. Say, maybe that dumb dog of yours could go for help. But I doubt it.
Grandpa, Speck's not a dumb dog. He and I went to obedience school, remember? And he knows how to get what people want. Now, don't you, boy? You know what to do, don't you, boy? Good boy. Go to the ski lodge. Go, Speck.
Don't worry, children. While Grandpa and Timmy lie pinned under a tree in the snow, Dreaming of hot chocolate and jelly beans, Speck, the wonder dog, is racing downhill to the ski lodge. He's been to obedience school, and he knows how to get what people want. Soon, Kintuck of the ski patrol is seen making his way up the hill with Speck leading the way.
Well, folks, I came as fast as I could. Oh, Mr. Ski Patrolman, I'm really glad you're here.
Yes, young fella, it's good to see you.
You got quite a dog there, kid. He came into the ski lodge and, you know, I knew right away that this just wasn't any old barking dog. See, Grandpa, I told you.
I've got to admit it, Timmy. For once, Speck understood what we wanted and went to get it right away. Yes, Speck's a good dog.
Hey, just a minute. You folks are pinned under a tree. Hey, there's been an avalanche.
Of course, young fella. That's why we sent Speck for help. I hope you brought a chainsaw or a shovel to get us free from under this tree.
That's really odd. Speck just told me to bring jelly beans and hot chocolate.
We're out of time, children. But don't worry. With Ken and Speck digging at the snow, Grandpa and Timmy were soon free, and everyone got home before dark. Besides, the hot chocolate and jelly beans were good. See you next time.
Zoom, 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 zoom. It's back. The wonder dog. If you need help, he'll let out a yelp. He'll let out a yelp. Speck, the wonder dog.
And that's the end of the radio drama that we did at Columbia School of Broadcasting production. That was done on the last day that we were there. I got all my work put on a reel-to-reel tape there, and that's one of the things that I did. Thought I'd share my experience over there. I never did actually get into the radio business, but I don't know, doing this, that, and the other shows, I guess the next best thing, and I enjoy doing it. And as always, thanks for watching.